And wishing you a good afternoon and welcome to the Rebel Nation Sports Network down here in T-Town, Tuscaloosa from Roy Johnson Jr. Stadium. It's a big showdown in Region 3. Kurt Bloom along with Chad Pelcher. The stakes don't get any higher than this, where even Robert Evans, head coach of Vestavia Hills, said loser might go home and probably is out of the playoffs. The winner still has a path to get to the postseason.
This game is enormous in Class 7A Region 3, and when you have an enormous game, you want everything to go according to plan. This is not according to plan. We're kicking off today at 4:13 p.m., a game that was supposed to start at 7 o'clock p.m., but due to anticipated weather, severe weather in the Tuscaloosa area, this game is bumped up. Everyone's schedules have been thrown off. There are options to play tomorrow, potentially Monday. That didn't work, so here we are about to kick off on a day game in Class 7A football in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, maybe we should move this over to Wrigley. We get underway as Simpson boots it out of the end zone, and the Patriots will be on offense, led by their senior quarterback Bryson Kimbrough. Hillcrest 2-1, but 0-1 in the region. Fourth-year head coach Jamie Mitchell. And that Vestavia Hills Rebels defense, which played oh so well for about 95% of last week's game, on the field for the first time. They actually won the toss, Chad, and wanted to put their defense on the field first.
Yeah, this is a defense that just played so well last week, was up to the challenge against an outstanding Hewitt offense, and just gave up a little bit late there in the ball game. But this is another challenge here against Hillcrest.
Kimbrough, as the Patriots have a version of the wing T, and coming near side, out at the 30-yard line, is Christian Ritchie. So it's tough to find who actually has the ball. It's not a wing T, but it's a version of.
Yeah, and they like to mix it up. Head coach Jamie Mitchell really loves being under center, those wing T concept. Offensive coordinator Greg Guy, he's more of a spread guy. So they're going to mix it up throughout the day, and you're going to see different looks. That's challenging for a defense as you try to prepare. 9
yards on the carry by the sophomore Christian Ritchie. Pitch, first down.
And you're going to see several backs today for Hillcrest. We've seen a couple of carries by Ritchie carrying the ball forward. You're going to also see Jacoby Harris and then Caden Smith. He's more of a wide receiver, but due to some injuries, they're going to use him more. You see him here in the wing set up now, but he's going to go to running back as well. So they're going to have a number of different guys touch the football, and they're all very athletic.
Near side is Jordan Chambers Smith. He's a senior. Kimbrough over center. Hand off to the first man through. Good yardage for Jacoby Harris. He's only a freshman. This backfield for the Patriots, freshman, sophomore.
And they have a lot of young talent, and it's really going to be on display here tonight. The one I'm looking forward to is watching Caden Smith. He's a junior and just an outstanding athlete. A guy that's getting recruited by a lot of people and is going to have a chance to play at the next level, but really strong in the skill positions, just young and inexperienced. Now, where their weakness is at the offensive line. They've had a really hard time protecting the quarterback in the passing game, but so far they've just kept it on the ground and gotten off to a good start.
Second down and 3. Kimbrough, first pass attempt of the afternoon. That's incomplete. Coverage by Cross Tonsmeyer, who's going to play a little bit of spur. He's also going to be playing a little safety. There's some injuries in that backfield, but actually good news as Owen Wilbanks is back.
That's right. After injury in week 1, so you're going to move some guys around. Tonsmeyer goes to spur. Daniel Richardson moves to cornerback, and as you get more guys healthy, you have a chance to use more athletes at different positions.
Third down and 3 for Bryson Kimbrough. Hand off, far side, pursuit is there. Nothing. You mentioned Caden Smith, the outstanding athlete, and he got gobbled up.
Just love the pursuit of Jacob Watson, playing hurt, fighting through it. The senior leader has done such a good job, makes the big tackle on third down, and then that's going to force a punt. And so a great start by this Vestavia defense here tonight.
Jacob Watson last week, 7 tackles in that bone-crunching loss to Hewitt. Still, the sting is still there. 18-14, the final last week. Charlie Taff, who is the quarterback, will make the catch, and actually he's going to run. Couple of yards and then taken down. That's a little surprising. Taff was told to just catch it, but he's such a gritty, grimy, tough athlete, Chad.
And there you see why you are concerned about putting your quarterback back there. You're right. The idea is not to have him return, but there was a lot of open space to the left side there, so he decided to take it, but a real strong, hard tackle at the end of that run.
1st and 10 at the 30. That's blown dead before the Rebels even get started. Penalties were the issue last week, amongst other things.
So Hillcrest takes a timeout before they even get started. Got to be frustrating there. As you have all week to prepare, you get ready, and then some kind of issue, whether alignment or personnel, and Hillcrest takes a timeout. And so now we can take a breath, kind of reset with where we are, folks. We went on the air about 2 seconds before this broadcast, or before this game kicked off. Just a kudos and tip of the hat to John Versiglio, the work that he was able to do today to get us on the air. We found out a little after noon that this game was going to be shifted to today at 4 o'clock. It takes us a long time to get set up, especially when you're on the road. We're unfamiliar with the stadium or where things are going to be. We're currently sitting in the stands on the visitor side. Tents up in case the weather does come, but it has been a mad scramble to get everything ready to get going. But well, we're really thrilled to have gotten on the air to bring this broadcast to you, and hope, again, maybe you had plans to come to this game tonight, but because of it being moved up several hours, we've all been, again, sprinting to get here. But here we go in what is a crucial Region 3 battle.
Charlie Taff, 3 for 5 last week. Handoff and some good yardage on that first down.
And it just shows you how great it is to have William Tonsmeyer back in this offense. Last week, he returned for the first time all season. He had 16 carries for 90 yards, including a touchdown run. Did Tonsmeyer, and just such an important weapon for this Vestavia offense.
1st and 10 for the Rebs. Tonsmeyer shifting gears far side inside of Patriot territory. He's taken down at the 47. He is deceptively quick and fast. Got 8 on that. Here's the pitch, and gobbled up immediately is Tonsmeyer. Kendall Moorhead with the tackle for the Patriots sets up a 3rd and 6 for Taff and the Rebels. Luke Stubbs checking in. Robert Evans wanted a better mix between run and pass from last week.
Yeah, last week Vestavia ran the ball 53 times.
Taff calls his own number. Straight ahead, over the 40, inside the 39, and enough for a first down.
And this is the start that Vestavia was looking for last week against Hewitt. The game plan, which was executed perfectly, was to slow things down, eat up the clock, and they did. Had over 30 minutes of time of possession. Today, you're going to pick that tempo back up and go like Vestavia normally goes.
Man in motion. And that's complete near side. And then down the sidelines, looking for 6. Touchdown! It's Noah Boylan with the Boylan family to our right going crazy.
Big-time score for the Rebels. What a great play by Charlie Taff. He wanted to go down the field, went to throw the ball, gets hit, and was able to avoid the tackle. And then doing what great quarterbacks do, you just wait, you go to your check down to Boylan out in the flat, made the catch, and then Boylan did a good job of reading his blockers, getting to the outside, and getting into the end zone.
Owen Simpson to make it 7-0 for the Rebs. Carson Mann was the man in motion. That's a tongue twister for broadcasters. That's who it appeared was the intended receiver. But, you know, we say this nickname, and this is a good thing. Check down Charlie. Check down Charlie. Found Noah Boylan. And when I said the Boylan family to our right, Chad and I, by the way, you've set this scene up beautifully. You didn't tell everybody. We're in a tent underneath the on the far side. We're in the stands.
We have fans to our left, fans to our right, fans in front. And so it's, again, it's a day game. You don't get that in high school football very often. We've got a day game here today and a great start for the Rebels.
Really, you look back at the Rebels defensively, able to get that 3 and out after a couple of first downs. And then Taft and company move the Rebs for a touchdown. Noah Boylan, the sophomore, comes out of the backfield. That's out of the end zone again. That's nothing new.
Well, and that's a real weapon for the Rebels that you didn't really see those first couple of weeks. Owen Simpson had a couple of issues that occurred, that he didn't have a lot of kicks into the end zone for touchbacks. He has done that both last week and this week, and that's a big weapon. Let's look at the keys for the game for Hillcrest. Keys for the game to Hillcrest brought to you by Aaron Cummings with Alpha Insurance. They need to be effective running the football. We saw them come out early in that wing tee look. They ran it several times, but then some big stops by Vestavia, and then they need to make Vestavia one-dimensional. We talked about Vestavia wanting to be multiple this week and be more balanced. So for Hillcrest, they need to make Vestavia more balanced and one-dimensional. They did not do that on the first drive. Those are the keys to the game for Hillcrest, brought to you by Aaron Cummings, Alpha Insurance agent located on Rocky Ridge Road.
And around. Jordan Chambers-Smith takes the end around. That was a 40-yard pass, by the way. That's coming back, Chad. That last play is coming back.
And we talked about, again, be effective running the football for Hillcrest. You can't do that with penalties. And so a really good start to that drive. You're going to pick up a first down after just one play. But instead, the penalty is going to back them up.
Leighton Downey, who has been in and out of this lineup, comes off the field to play and is going to need some medical attention, one of the cornerbacks. So Chad Merrill will continue his early season game of chess, trying to find the right guys in that defensive secondary.
And Larry McSwain checks in at the cornerback position.
Spot foul, so this is a 1st and 19. Kimbrough. That might have hit the turf. They will allow that to continue unless somebody takes that back.
Goodness gracious. So I'm not sure that ball didn't hit the ground, but at a minimum, his knee was on the ground when the ball hit his hands. That, if not incomplete, it should have been a loss of downs. And instead, it just looked from here like the officials missed that one.
Officiating was certainly part of the problem last week, but you got to take the game out of the official hands, and Robert Evans said that. He go on and on and on for about this call and that call and last week's loss to Hewitt, but take it out of their hands. Here's a pitch near side. 35-yard line. First down for the Patriots. Christian Ritchie, sophomore.
Yeah, and a bust there. That time a speed option by Hillcrest. That's a play they really like to run. Jacob Watson did a good job coming downhill, but you have to play the pitch man, and nobody did that time. And so the coaches on this sideline very animated, wanting to make sure, again, if you play assignment football, Vestavia feels good about what it can do against this offense, but that time did not execute the assignment.
1st and 10 at the Patriot 33. Rebs by a touchdown to the 35, so that'll be a gain of 2.
And these first down plays are so crucial for Vestavia. We talked about it because they don't block well in the passing game. Not a lot of pass protection. If you can get them into 2nd and 3rd down in long situations where they have to throw the football, it is advantage defense immediately. And so by, again, starting out, they're going to give them a gain of 3 on that one. That makes this 2nd down even more important. Can you stop them? Put them in that 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 range.
Well, Kimbrough's first pass was incomplete. That other pass should have been ruled incomplete. Very talented, athletic, running type quarterback is Bryson Kimbrough. Handoff. That'll set up a 3rd down.
Now, with that said about the passing game, the offensive line's done a good job so far in the run game. This is their bread and butter. It's what they do most often. And you can see early in this ball game, these Hillcrest offensive linemen are getting to the 2nd level, meaning they are getting a body on the Vestavia linebackers and covering them up, which is requiring the safeties to come downhill to make those tackles.
Good news, Leighton Downey back in for the Rebs.
He's short.
Boy, if that's a dive and a plunge, that is way short.
Didn't look like
Look at
he
the
got
spot
any
check.
yards. And so now a decision time for Hillcrest.
The Rebels will bring in some beef. Monty Hedgeman will go in at nose guard, thinking that
Carter Metcalf came in as well. They're going to line up to go for it.
yeah, I was about to say, you put your big defensive guys in because you think they're going for it. Maybe Kimbrough trying to get the Rebels offside. Need a full yard.
Looks like he got it.
Not by a lot, but a 1st down for the Patriots.
And we are now to the heat timeout here in the 1st quarter. And again, because of our setup, we're not going to be taking many, if any, commercials tonight. And so we're going to stay here. Again, to our sponsors, we thank you. We'll talk about some of those as the game goes on, but we're going to keep it here throughout this broadcast, be live, show the game. And right now I want to go to the keys to the game for Vestavia Hills. When you talk about coming back for this game, the keys for Vestavia, number 1, be more balanced on offense. Last week, Vestavia ran the ball 53 times, only passed it 5. That was by design. But this week, they certainly want to be more balanced than that. They need to eliminate penalties. Last week, a big story in the game that we really didn't have a chance to focus on very often. Vestavia had 11 penalties for 114 yards. You're not going to win a lot of games with that many penalties. And then lastly, finish the game. It was a hard-fought, great high school football game last week. And at the last minute, Vestavia just could not quite hold on, couldn't get it done. Tonight, it's about finishing. Once you get that lead, once you strike first like they've done here, you have to finish, you have to hang on. And that's one thing that we'll also see. Again, those are the keys to the game, brought to you by Aaron Cummings, Alpha Insurance Agent on Rocky Ridge Road. But we want to see what's the psyche of this football team. The first 2 games were 2 of the best teams in the state, and it didn't go well. Vestavia had some guys out. Last week was a game against a very talented top 6 football team. You battle, but you lose on just a heartbreaker. So what is your psyche coming back this week? And so far, it's been pretty good.
Robert Evans addressed the team right after that heartbreaking loss last Friday, did not mention the game. Low snap, Kimbrough throws. Kimbrough has his man. And the Rebels will bring him down. But not before a 1st down, Caden Smith had some space.
Yeah, at that time, just too long for Kimbrough to sit in the pocket and throw the football. But you understand, you've had so many running plays that you're really probably expecting another run there on the 1st down. Good play call by this Hillcrest staff, putting the ball in the air and picking up a nice game.
Rebels by 7. We're still in the 1st quarter. Pair of running backs right now in an I formation. Kimbrough wants the air. Man fell down and still makes the reception. And the defender fell down as well. A touchdown for Hillcrest. Caden Smith, he fell down. He pops back up, and then the defender fell down. And we're a point after away from a tie here in the 1st quarter. Hudson Hall is the senior kicker. This is to tie the game up. Now, all that happened on the far side. First, Smith falls down, and you're saying to yourself, obviously an incomplete pass, and then the athleticism that he has to pop up and cause the Vestavia Hills defender to miss his tackle and tied up.
Yeah, so tough series there. It even goes back to that first play where it looked like The receiver's knee was on the ground, and then from there, just well executed by Hillcrest. This is a Hillcrest team that lost last week to Hoover 35-6. But in that ball game, their first 2 drives, they got within inside the 5-yard line and ultimately had to kick a field goal. So again, had opportunities inside the 5 where could not quite cash in. In addition, they had a big, long touchdown run, a 60-yard touchdown run in the first quarter that was called back due to a penalty. So it's a ball game. It ended up being 14-6 at the half, Hoover leading. But Hillcrest could have been, if not tied, maybe ahead in that ball game, if not for a couple of breaks here and there. And then in the second half, it got away from them a little bit. But again, this is a team that was very effective offensively, just didn't quite cash in.
Carson Mann is the deep man. And against Auburn, he ran a kickoff back for a touchdown of over 80-plus yards. What a bounce that took for Hillcrest. Mann picks it up. Mann still on the run. That's fumbled out of bounds.
Looks like they're going to say he's down. Well, they're going to talk it over. Question is, was he down just outside the end zone, or was that a safety? The officials are and it's a safety.
It's a safety.
Goodness gracious. And these are the kind of mistakes for Vestavia you just can't make. First off, the ball is kicked down, lands about the 10-yard line, and you don't catch it. You can't let a kickoff hit the ground wherever it goes. That happens, and then, man, again, you love trying to make something happen, but sometimes you just take your lumps and move on to the next play. Instead of just running forward, maybe starting in bad field position, he tries to go all the way around. You're going to have a hard time outrunning 11 guys one sideline to the other, and the ball comes out to safety. And so, again, a really tough break for the Rebels and a strong play by Hillcrest.
This is game number 4 for the Rebels, and in each and every game there has been some sort of early disaster, some sort of turnover or penalty, and here's a safety.
And as we got ready for this game this week, we asked Coach Evans to what did he learn about some of the calls in the last game, but he immediately pointed to what Vestavia could have done better, and the reality is to start the second half, Vestavia comes out and fumbles a kickoff. So that's 2 weeks in a row on a kickoff play. You've had a really devastating result. Last week you fumble it and you give great field position to Hillcrest. They didn't score immediately, but after Vestavia got very few yards, they came back and were able to put points on the board. And then here today, you just give away 2 points on a kickoff return.
Not only did you give away 2, but you have also given away possession. Simpson. Returnable. About the 12, 15, up to the 30. Ooh. And then down at the 42, but still very good field position. Back on offense for Bryson Kimbrough.
That looked like Daniel Richardson on that hit, and that was enormous. Knocked his helmet off. And so we'll talk about this in a minute, but the helmet came off, therefore that player cannot play on the next play. And we'll talk about why that matters a little bit later. And let's go back to the key play again. We didn't see it live, but it was Cross Tonsmeyer with the huge hit late in the ball game that knocked that ball loose last week against Hewitt. Again, we'll talk about that in just a little bit later.
So the Patriots on offense with the lead.
Outstanding play by Vestavia. Owen Wilbanks back in the ball game. Jacob Watson in on the tackle. And we will say for Wilbanks, after he took that shot and went into the wall at the Crampton Bowl in week 1, you were concerned that might be a season ender with the way that went. Instead, here he is back 3 weeks later. He has that left elbow heavily bandaged, but he is playing hard and made a big hit there.
The Patriots gained 1, so it's a 2nd and 9. Kimbrough completes. And now fumbled. Very reminiscent of last week, but this time the Rebels will cash in. Pass was Caught by Wyatt Gardner, the tight end, and then recovered by the Rebels.
And that's the kind of play that Vestavia needs. You needed a break, and let's force the break. Let's make a play. Great job. The catch was made. Still probably a little too long to sit in the pocket there and deliver the football, but a good hit ball comes out, and Vestavia gets great field position on its own 47.
End around. We've seen this play a few times. Good yardage on first down. Bruce Littleton, the H-back.
And that was a good play there by Jay Leatherwood for Hillcrest, not only to make that tackle, but to read that play. A little misdirection. Nice job by Littleton. This is a Hillcrest team that is missing 5 starters on defense, including Zay Hall. He's a junior linebacker. He is their best defensive player. He has not played tonight after suffering an injury last week.
Tonsmeyer trying to get the edge. A little cut inside to the 30. One of the linemen slow to get up for the Rebs.
That was Caleb Boylan, the center, limping a little bit as he heads back to the huddle.
Another first down run. 1st and 10 at the 30. Right back to the line of scrimmage for Tonsmeyer.
Vestavia doing a really good job of getting a good push up front. You still see Boylan limping. So we'll have to watch that as the game goes on. But spreading the field now, 3 empty backfield, 3 wide to the left, 2 to the right.
Tonsmeyer, there's a flag on the field. That ball is caught by Stubbs. Wait for the flag. I'm thinking on the Rebs.
So they're saying it's an alignment issue for Vestavia, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. And that's a tough one. Again, that's the kind of plays you've got a good rhythm, you get a nice gain there, and instead you're going to back up as a result of alignment situation.
Josh Franklin is trying to give the Patriots different looks from what they saw on tape. That last play had William Tonsmeyer lined up as a wide receiver. And Robert Evans told us during the week, he said, I was thrilled with 212 net rushing yards, but only 3 for 5, 33 yards for Taft, who already has thrown for a 40-yard touchdown here. Taft to the air. Ooh, a little miscommunication. Stubbs did not cut inside. He had position, and that'll be 3rd and long now, 3rd and 15.
Yeah, it's hard to tell there. Was it a miscommunication on the routes run, or because that ball landed in between 2 Vestavia receivers, but not close enough to either one of them.
The Rebels have to get near the 20. And remember, you also got to keep in mind they got a great field goal kicker, so at least get it close to give Owen Simpson. Here's a misdirection coming back near side for Littleton. Littleton's got the first down and more. Now he's got nothing but a touchdown. Bruce Littleton with a great move, and 6.
Great play call by Josh Franklin. Great execution. Taft rolls right. Littleton escapes out the backside, throws it to him. And what a really good, strong play by Copeland Styles. The lineman was coming downfield to block. That ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, so he released downfield. And he had a chance to get contact on the defender down the field. He pulled up. It would have been a block in the back. A great, smart play there.
PAT is good. That's a 35-yard touchdown. So check down Charlie with a 40 and a 35-yarder to pad the stats.
And just tip your hat there on the play call and on the execution. It was a 3rd and long. You're maybe thinking they're going to try to go deep down the field. Instead, we show sprint out to the right. All the flow went away from the play. Again, Jay Leatherwood, who did a good job of recognizing the misdirection last time. He recognized it, but it was a little bit too late. And then a great job of cutting back, getting across the field by Bruce Littleton.
Chad, in baseball, when your team scores 3 or 4 runs, we call the very next half inning a shutdown. Beautiful touchdown pass, some electricity on the Rebel side. Now the defense needs to establish with a 3 and out.
And they started the momentum for Vestavia with that fumble on the last drive. And then the offense is able to do its job, and Owen Simpson does his as well with another touchback. And now, as you said, here comes that Vestavia defense. I agree with you. From a psyche standpoint, after playing last week, Vestavia believes that they're a good football team. But despite that, you still need something big to happen. And again, this is a game where we've talked about it. The winner of this one, despite the records, is in a really good spot on the playoff picture. The loser is going to be on the outside looking in. So this game could not be bigger. And for Hillcrest, think about Hillcrest. They've moved up from 6A to 7A this year. They're the second smallest 7A school. They, after losing to Hoover last week in the regular season, that was their first regular season loss in almost 3 years. And so this is a team that's not used to losing in the regular season. And so how will they respond as well?
Handoff, first man through, got a yard, if that. Christian Ritchie. Ritchie is so low to the ground. Great balance. And again, a scary backfield for the rest of this region. Harris, a freshman, Ritchie, a sophomore. They will give 2 on the carry for Ritchie. 2nd and 8. That's not where Kimbrough wants to be. First man through, tripped up immediately. You know, I was going to say this out loud. I said, if I don't know who it is, guess Bruno. And you're probably going to be right. Looked like Grayson came out of that one.
And we talked about Kimbrough not liking being in these third and long situations. This is a kid that could throw it, though. He's committed to go play at Louisiana Monroe. Former UAB offensive coordinator Bryant Vincent, now the head coach there. And so he's a kid that can let it rip when he needs to.
They're down in 7. Kimbrough flushed out and tackled from behind. The Ocho got him. Grayson Bruno.
And that's been the Achilles heel for Hillcrest, not being able to protect in the third and long situations. That time, Grayson Bruno, who also is playing hurt, got a big sleeve on his left leg, did a great job of getting into the backfield and making a big sack to force the punt.
The Rebs should get outstanding field position. Taffel set up inside Patriot territory. Punt coming our way. And then about the 43 is where the Rebels will go back on offense. So the defense established. They put up the 0. And now the offense.
It's still early in this ball game, but with that stop by the defense and this great field position, you get the sense with the way this is going, if Vestavia could go score a touchdown really quickly, you can really grab a hold of this game despite it being really early.
This is an on-air reminder, we still got to talk about some of those key plays from last week. We'll get there, but we're got a lot of action so far. 23 points in this opening quarter. Taff is going to throw. Stubbs gets to the 35.
We'll see 15 seconds left in this first quarter. We'll see if Vestavia runs another play or if they let that clock run out.
Yeah, that will end the first quarter. I'm not sure if that was planned. Doesn't matter. They'll flip the field. And from Roy Johnson Jr. Stadium, a lot of action in this first quarter. 2 long touchdown passes for Charlie Taff. And the Rebels with a 14-9 lead when we come back.
In every moment, greatness awaits. For the bold, the visionary, and those ready to take their shot. Here, we don't chase success, we define it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Back at Roy Johnson Jr. Stadium, the Rebels with a 14-9 lead and possession as we open up the second quarter. Kurt Bloom, Chad Pelzer on the Rebel Nation Sports Network. If you would have seen the chaos a couple of hours ago, John Versiglio and his entire crew, they got us on the air, and I don't know how they did it. There must have been about 3 Versiglios running around with some help. That's a misdirection. And Tonsmeyer kept it as the Patriots were chasing the wrong guy.
And that misdirection has really been effective in this ball game. You see, again, Hillcrest with a lot of subs, and they're running the wrong way.
Taft rolls out to the right. Found his man. That's complete. Almost intercepted. Instead, completion. Bruce Littleton.
And Littleton's having a heck of a game. That's his second catch. One of those went for a touchdown. But he's had a couple of nice carries.
Taft with the fake. Inside.
Taft really running the ball very confidently. He had 26 carries last week. That's probably a little more than this staff wants him to have, but you learn by doing, and you can see the confidence that he's running with here, not only tonight, but last week as well.
He got 6 yards rather. 2nd and 4. That's Tonsmeyer spinning. Should be short of a first down.
By about 2 yards. Vestavia can pick up a first down.
3rd and 2. Taft got some room, and he's in the end zone. Charlie Taft read the defense, punches it in, and the Rebels have scored 3 times.
And we talked about Bruce Littleton running the ball, catching the ball. That time he was blocking. He was the lead blocker on that play. A little quarterback counter by Charlie Taft. A good job by Littleton of leading the way and almost untouched into the end zone.
21-9. The Rebels lead the Patriots in this very important game. We'll be back from Tuscaloosa after this.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment, enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Tuscaloosa. 3 touchdowns for the Rebels. 21-9 lead over the Patriots. It's so close to a do-or-die game. It boggles the mind. This is only the 2nd game of the region. That's it. Last week, for the Rebs, the loss to Hewitt. And for the Patriots, the loss to Hoover. But you have no time to fall behind in what might be the best region in the state of Alabama.
And if you're just turning on the broadcast and you're like, hey, it's 4:51 p.m., shouldn't you still be at work? The answer is yes.
Yes, we should.
Due to the threat of severe weather in the Tuscaloosa area, this game was bumped up to a 4 o'clock start time. So we may have some folks who tune in at 7, thinking they're going to watch the game and they're going to see it wrapped up. But this has been a great start for Vestavia. I would challenge you to find a better 0-3 football team in the country in high school football. This is a team that's played a gauntlet of a schedule. They looked really, really good last week, just not able to quite finish that game, but off to a really good start against a very solid Hillcrest team here in the second quarter.
This is an important set of downs for Bryson Kimbrough and Hillcrest. And they are behind, not where they like to be. That's not their comfort zone. Completed far side. Completion of 5 yards, 2nd and 5. Ball is on the 26, so we'll call it a 2nd down and 4, gain of 6. Whistle before anything else happens.
So Hillcrest, after picking up 5 on first down, or 6 on first down, they're going to give 5 of them back because of a false start. And we sound like a broken record, but back to where you want them to be. You want to put Hillcrest in the 2nd and long, 3rd and long situations where it forces them into passing downs.
Second and 9, ball on the 21. Hillcrest, Kimbrough whips it out, gets a quick completion. Wasted no time, did Kimbrough.
And that's where he's best, when you can get rid of the ball very quickly. We've talked about it. Very talented receivers, several of them young, but very good athletes on the outside. And if they were able to break a tackle, that's why it's really important for Vestavia. Despite the short passes, you have to come up and be very solid tackling the ball carrier to make sure that they're not able to break any big runs.
3rd and 3. Ritchie popped. Get nothing and told to like it. Josh Arendahl with a big 3rd down tackle.
Yeah, that was just a great job of Josh Arendahl, just man-to-man, one-on-one. I'm going to be better than you on this play, and just fought his way into the backfield. Made a big tackle for a loss and another punt for Hillcrest. Might be one of those times where you watch, are they thinking fake punt? They can kind of sense this thing getting away with it, be willing to take a gamble. So need to be aware.
Taff is at the Rebel 45. Line drive returnable, and the wise move right there. He got his eyes on midfield. That was the goal, midfield, and also out of bounds so he couldn't get a lick.
And that's perfect. If they're going to try to angle kick and kick it towards the sideline for Taff, the most important reason he's back there is to catch the ball. Don't let it hit the ground. Don't give up yardage. But if you can get it in and get out of bounds without taking a hit, that is ideal for the Rebels.
You know, Chad, this is game 4. I haven't called the spot right. That's going to be at the 49. I thought I've had a pretty good start to this season, but the spotting has just been so different. Last week was just incredible. Got a 1st down run.
And talk again about the way Vestavia is carrying out these play fakes, this misdirection. Bruce Littleton was tackled 30 yards away from the ball because they thought he had the football. Just a great job by Vestavia of carrying out the little things.
And it was Carson Mann. Good job that time, as Noah Boylan, who already has a touchdown, tackled before he can get into open field.
And Boylan's just a great example of taking advantage of your opportunities. Got some carries in the scrimmage in the week 1, and now here you are in the middle of a region game, and you're getting carries again.
3rd and 5 for the Rebs. Taff fake the handoff to Boylan. Look at Charlie go. 1st down. What a great play fake.
Another really good block by Bruce Littleton. And Taff becoming more and more confident running the football. Another 1st down for the Rebs.
Ball on the 34. Trying for 6 deep. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Well placed, but Chase Webb could not haul it in. Fastest man on the team.
He is so fast. It looked like that ball might be a little too far, but Webb turned on the afterburners, got there, got his hands on it, but just not quite able to bring it in on a beautiful ball by Charlie Taff.
Boy, that could have been an early TKO. Not the complete knockout, but that would have been a punch to the gut. So you got to do it again, 2nd down and 10 from the 34. Boylan. Chad, you got a view on that? Although he is slow to get up, did he get the first down? Yes, he did.
Yeah, he fell on that right shoulder.
Ouch.
He's going to hobble off. Great run. Did a really good job of following the tackle, pulling around, just stayed right on his hip pocket.
Two of the other running backs, Williamson and Carson Purdy, are out.
It's such a big asset to give Tonsmeyer a rest. He just got 4 or 5 plays off. And now
By the way,
he's
they
rested.
did not. I hate to interrupt, but it was not a first down. It'll be a third down with 2 to go with 6:17 remaining. I wish we had more cameras today.
Oh, boy.
If we had booth cam, I would have gotten you past. Robert Evans is 1 million views. Let's just leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. He's my man. He's my money man. But that's on the blooper reel. Tonsmeyer, and they string him out. He's going to come up short. Now what do you do?
Well, it's going to be very close. It's hard to see with
You
our
only needed
angle.
2, yeah.
We can't tell where he is. I think you're right. It's going to be a little bit short.
And a
we got
flag,
yeah, so that's going to be the big. They're probably going to call holding here. Yeah, it's holding against Vestavia. So you were in a position where you could have gone for it there on 4th down. It was going to be 4th and 1.5. You certainly probably would have gone for that. Now it's going to push you way back. You're going to be 3rd and behind the sticks. And that's crucial because you talked about it earlier. You're at that point in the ballgame where you feel like you could just throw that big punch and kind of grab control of this football game, and now you're going to have to execute on a 3rd and long to do so.
Tonsmeyer, the lone running back. On the right hip of Taff. Charlie checks it down. He finds Tonsmeyer, who's got space and is tackled down, but a completion that will give Owen Simpson a chance for a field goal.
They're going to give him a first down. Picked up a first down. Yeah, and that's a huge play. So Vestavia went spread, and that time the middle of the field was wide open. So they ran. Tonsmeyer goes to the outside and then cuts back in, and the middle of the field was open. Great recognition and throw by Charlie Taff. He actually got a little assist, got a screen from the official running across the middle of the field, but a great play call again by Josh Franklin to put Vestavia in a spot and to pick up that first down, which is a huge momentum, continuation of the momentum for Vestavia.
Chad, we talked about it a couple of times. I do want to go back so we can finally close that book on the Hewitt game, and this is a perfect time to do it. You want to talk about a couple of plays in particular? You mentioned a helmet came off.
So on the play, as everybody remembers, a 3rd down, throw across the middle. It's a bang-bang play. Cross Tonsmeyer hits Davis, the receiver. The ball goes flying. Originally, it's called a catch and a fumble. 2 different officials threw the beanbag. They come back, they talk, they change the call to an incomplete pass, which, look, there's no review in high school football, but if you think you got something wrong, you can change it. The problem with that was there was never another official who said incomplete. No one on the field said incomplete, so it's not clear how that happened. The bigger issue was Davis's helmet came off. If your helmet comes off and you're checked on the field as injured, one of 2 things has to happen. You either have to go out of the game for a play, or the team has to call a timeout to keep you in. Neither of those things happened. Davis remained in the game without Hewitt calling a timeout. The next ball went to him on 4th down, and he picked up the first down. That was a miss by the officials.
Yeah, I got more on that. We'll expand that in a moment. A whistle here blows this play dead. And there is a flag in the Patriots secondary. It appears to be on Hillcrest, the way that they're animated. Dead ball foul, but
12 men on the field for Hillcrest.
there you go.
Coming out of the timeout, the heat timeout, you talk things over, and an extra player stayed on the field. So another big 5-yard pickup for Vestavia.
Most animated one was Jamarian Bennett. First and 5. Littleton inside the 5.
And
Big Bruce.
He's such a big weapon for Vestavia in the red zone. We've seen how hard he's run. Just the the strength that he provides running the football.
Yeah, he got dinged up as well. Yep, limping.
When you're big and strong, defenders are going to go low to try to tackle you, and unfortunately, sometimes when that happens, they get your ankle, and so that's obviously what occurred there, and Littleton's going to jog off the field, get looked at by the trainer.
Back in is Tonsmeyer. We still don't know about Noah Boylan yet, who came out with a shoulder issue. 1st and 4. Tonsmeyer picks his spot, goes to the outside and scores. Rebels with 6 more.
And what about that play call there? That time Taft lined up at quarterback. He calls the snap. The direct snap goes to Tonsmeyer. They then go read option or fake to Charlie Taft. Charlie Taft acts like he's the tailback. Tonsmeyer keeps it, runs to the outside, scores a touchdown. All things clicking for this Vestavia offense here in this first half.
Simpson will try to make it 28-9. And he does. And from Tuscaloosa, an offensive display for the Rebels. They've scored 4 touchdowns. They lead 28-9 as you're watching on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
At Birmingham Fastener, every day begins with our core values: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're on the lookout for talented individuals to join our sales and manufacturing teams at one of the nation's leading manufacturers. With over 15 locations nationwide, we offer endless opportunities for growth and success alongside incredible teammates. Be a part of shaping the future of American manufacturing and help us build our nation's infrastructure.
Well, this is an offensive explosion for the Rebels. 4 touchdowns with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
How about for Vestavia last week against Hewitt? 254 yards of total offense. Tonight, already 230 yards of total offense, and we still have 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
You know, he is so good. He is, I want to call him Mr. Automatic, because you can count on the touchback, you can count on the PAT. I talked with Owen before the game, and we talked with his parents, and he is talking with, I'm not sure how much the legality is, but he is talking with both Samford and UAB, and apparently Central Florida has shown a little interest.
Yeah, look, good kickers are really hard to come by, and that's a young man who's certainly going to get an opportunity to kick the football at the next level. He could do it as a kicker, kickoff specialist, field goal kicker, or a punter. He's just been outstanding so far this year.
Kimbrough and the Patriots need some points. On a first down carry.
A smart but conservative call by Hillcrest. Picks up the first down, and now's the time where, as your Vestavia's defense, you cannot relax. You have taken control of this football game. All the momentum is in your favor, but keep playing strong. Keep playing with the same level of intensity, and try to just put this thing away before you even get to the half.
One running back for Kimbrough. Passing situation. Has some time. Rolls out to his right. And then just heaves it away.
And continuing to put pressure in the backfield is Vestavia. Carter Metcalf chasing along with several other red helmets. Just want to keep everything in front. Keep getting pressure, and Vestavia's able to get pressure here without blitzing linebackers. They're able to keep guys back. It's simply the defensive line getting back there, and then from a secondary perspective, just keep everything in front. Don't allow anything to get behind. It's that way you don't give up the big plays.
This is the second down. Over the middle, Kimbrough. Caught. First down.
You get asked a lot of times, what is the difference and just a high school quarterback or a big-time college prospect. And a lot of times it's the way you read a defense. And that time for Kimbrough, he was looking downfield. He was looking to the left side. And then all of a sudden, he's able to go back across the middle and find his receiver.
Got Jalen Cook on the reception.
And the weather has just picked up here in Tuscaloosa. That wind is starting to blow.
So 1st down and 10. Jalen Cook, who caught the last pass, in on the rush. And now he comes up limping.
And Hillcrest, again, both of these teams have really had a lot of injuries throughout this season, and it's kind of just fighting through and trying to next man up.
2nd and 4.
And now,
I think short by about a yard. Ooh,
got an official down in the middle of the field.
Kimbrough himself went down hard. An official went down hard. A picnic table went down hard. This is a 3rd and 3. Approaching the 3-minute mark here in the 2nd quarter. It's a little too early even for me to say a must score, but you got to get some points. You want to get some points, so that'll be a 1st down. Should be. And if you're the Patriots, what would be ideal for Hillcrest is to burn the clock and score points. Keep that ball out of Charlie Taft's hot hand.
Yeah, you get the feeling if Vestavia gets the ball back, they're going to go right down the field. Under 3 minutes to go. Hillcrest still has a couple of timeouts.
Ball at the 37. Still a long field for Kimbrough. Kimbrough has some time, points, throws, incomplete. Good coverage. No flag on the play. Leighton Downey back in.
And that was really nice job. A long time for Kimbrough to throw. We talked about it. Vestavia's not bringing extra pressure. They're simply rushing their down linemen. The secondary is staying back, but they're having to cover for a very long time as that play goes along. So good job in the secondary and the Downey there to knock the ball loose.
Second and 10. Kimbrough. 3 or 4 yards. That is a heck of a takedown by Jacob Watson. I mean, that's WWE style right there.
Watson does such a good job of reading the play, getting around the block to get to the ball carrier, and then finish that tackle with authority.
That was a Chad Gable type move for WWE fans. So 3rd and 7. Kimbrough coming up way short. He held it by himself. Never got the pitch off on an RPO.
And that's a play that Hillcrest ran in the first half. It's a little option play coming out to the side, and Vestavia busted a coverage or busted a defensive call previously when that play was run. That time they executed it perfectly. You had 3 blue jerseys with a chance to get the ball, but you had 4 white jerseys there to knock that play down.
Tough call for Jamie Mitchell, and he's going for it. Fourth down. 6 to go for the Patriots.
Coach Mitchell's going to talk this one over.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, Chad. I don't know. I don't know. You come up short and you give the Rebels a shorter field. See, here's the difference, by the way. Here's the difference when you have an Owen Simpson and when you don't.
That's a great point. This would be a 50-yard field goal if Hillcrest were to attempt it. Simpson, you have a chance. I don't know if this wind makes it difficult regardless, but Hillcrest does not have the kicker to attempt this type of kick. And so it's simply a do we punt or do we go? If you go and don't get it, you're giving them, they still have 70, 75 yards to go, minute, 23 seconds left. So I think you have to go, especially given the score. If it were a little tighter, maybe you would make a different decision. But with the score where it is for Hillcrest, you have to take the gamble. You have to go for it. But you're right. If Vestavia gets the ball, they're going to have a little over a minute to go down the field with, I believe, all 3 timeouts. And, again, the ball would stop on out of bounds and a first down. So now it's about getting the call correct, making sure you have the right personnel in the ball game. We see Vestavia making some changes. But 4th down, 6 to go. They need to get the ball just past the 27-yard line.
1:23 remaining prior to the half. Chad, we do have a scheduled guest, or with the weather and the change, are we still going?
We'll see how that shakes out. It's
okay.
Again,
it's not a guarantee.
In the last 10 minutes, we've gone from a pretty nice day to pretty windy and dark clouds pretty quickly. But we're going to talk about cheerleading, which is obviously a crucial part of any football game, football contest, but they got a lot going on in their own right, so we're excited to talk about that.
Kimbrough going long, going deep. There's some contact. It's incomplete, and it will be a pass interference. Yeah, Daniel Richardson.
That time, Vestavia brought pressure, a hit on Kimbrough as he let go of the football. Richardson was in a good spot in coverage, just did not look back, and he ended up running in to the receiver. That was Jordan Chambers-Smith, who just ran a go route down the hash. Richardson did not turn around, made the contact. That was a pretty easy call for the officials.
You don't play the game this way, but it's going to happen. You'd rather give up 15 yards than to give up a touchdown.
Absolutely. Now, on that play, though, I think Richardson, if he would have had his bearings about him, he could have turned around and had a chance to make a play on that ball. Instead, it's a first down for Hillcrest at the 18-yard line.
Kimbrough, the pitch. Christian Ritchie on the option.
That's a well-executed play by Hillcrest. They only picked up about 1.5 yards, 2 yards, but they did get out of bounds. And so that's what's crucial. Hillcrest only 1 timeout left. So if you're going to run the football, if you can help it, you'd love to get out of bounds. If not, if Vestavia makes the tackle in the field of play, Hillcrest is going to have to very quickly get back to the line of scrimmage.
That play only picked up 1 yard. Some good running that time, and into the end zone. Cashing in. That's Jacoby Harris.
And after playing a really strong first half, that was like 3 or 4 missed tackles by the Rebels on that play. Had a chance again, a little misdirection that time by Hillcrest. Got it to the outside, good play fake, carrying the plays out, and then able to get to the outside and just a good job of keeping your feet alive, making some cuts, and getting into the end zone. So a pretty crucial score for Hillcrest right before the half.
Hillcrest is going to go for 2, some sort of a quick fake handoff, and they'll get 2 points. Christian Ritchie on this trickery. They lined up to the near side.
And that's the type of play that this Vestavia defense practices all the time. You'd seen it on film. You were prepared for it. They just didn't execute. It's almost like they were surprised that it happened, despite the fact that they've gone over that. So, again, a really, really strong first half by Vestavia all around, especially, again, the offense got hot in that late first, early second quarter time frame. The defense has played pretty soundly, but a couple of lapses there right before the end of the half that resulted in 8 points for Hillcrest.
And we've got a game again. Vestavia Hills 28, Hillcrest 17.
And you have to be pretty impressed with Hillcrest for really fighting back. And again, you go down 28-9, everything going in Vestavia's favor. And to put an offensive drive together just like that, go down, and then again get the 2-point conversion as well, pretty impressive by this Hillcrest team on that last drive.
What will the Rebels do with 63 seconds left to go before the half?
I think you'll see them be aggressive, especially if they get a pretty decent return here. They may run it on first down, see if you can get a pop, but I think you're going to see Vestavia being aggressive, especially with 3 timeouts and the way the offense has been playing these last couple of drives.
Charlie Taff has 2 touchdowns of length so far in this game. 2 over 30 yards. And really, they've been medium range passes that have been turned into touchdowns. (25-30) and pushed all the way out to the 36.
And we'll see here, but again, with that kind of return and Owen Simpson's leg, the wind is actually at Vestavia's back here. I would be really surprised if they don't come out aggressive and try to get some more points before this half.
Carson Mann on the return.
Because you think about it, you're really at a 2-point possession, 11-point game. That's a score, a 2-point conversion, and a field goal, and you're tied right back up. So every point is going to matter here in this ball game. 55 seconds left on the clock.
Well,
Vestavia leading 28-17.
And the Rebels saw last week that every point was precious. Under a minute remaining. Roll out, dump, caught. Stubbs.
So now you very quickly get back to the line of scrimmage. Short gain for Vestavia. You're going to let that clock run now because, again, if you do get stopped in this first drive, you'd like to eat up some clock, but you got to get back up to the line very quickly.
That play gained 4, 2nd and 6. Taff will run. And get out of bounds to stop the clock. Third down for the Rebs with 4 to go and 24 seconds prior to half.
So you might see Vestavia run the ball here. If you pick it up, then you call timeout. If you don't, then the clock will run out and maybe prevent Hillcrest from getting the ball. They could use their timeout. It's offsides. It's offsides. Hillcrest was offsides and it wasn't called.
Tonsmeyer. Despite the pleas of my broadcast partner, was not called.
Yeah, and if you've watched Vestavia the last several years, you know that they like to shift. They'll get in a position and they'll call hut, and then they will shift, and you want to see the defense jump. High school football is not like college. You can't jump across and then jump back. If you go across, it's an offsides penalty against the defense. It was not called there, but good run there by Tonsmeyer. He picks up the first down. Vestavia uses its first time out of the half.
Take a couple of shots. 17 seconds gives you a chance to at least 2 passes, maybe get out of bounds. You don't have to get there all on one chunk.
But I do think you have to take shots down the field at this point. Picking up 4 and 5 is not going to give you that chance to get down the field. I think on these next couple of plays, you will see Vestavia take shots down the field. The middle of the field has actually been open a good bit, especially when Vestavia has gone with empty or 4 wides. Hillcrest has gone man-to-man. They've not had a safety in the middle of the field. So we'll see how it all shakes out.
Chase Webb, similar situation. That's him near side. Had a ball go in and off his hands last time. That's where Taff is looking, right to the guy we talked about for a first down. And more.
Vestavia will call it second time out of the half. That was a great job by Webb, not only to get open, but then to make a nice run after the catch. Vestavia is in field goal range. It'd be a long field goal from here. You're looking at about 45, 46 yards. But you also have time to take 1 shot down the field with 8 seconds. You just have to be really quick.
So a nice pitch and catch. Taff to Chase Webb.
I think the best option maybe you run some kind of slant route, some kind of out route, try to pick up another 4 or 5 yards to give Simpson a better opportunity. If you go to the end zone, you run the risk of that play taking a little too long. Do they not hit the clock button as quickly as maybe they need to, and then you run out of the half. So we'll see what they run again, but it's one of those deals where maybe you're just trying to pick up another 7, 8, 9 yards to make that field goal more manageable, especially with the way this wind is blowing here in Tuscaloosa.
If you score 3, it would take a little bit of the hurt away from that last 6+2 that Hillcrest scored. Eight seconds remaining in the opening half. Rebels up by 11. Stubbs on the far side, Littleton on the far side. It's coming near side, or at least we thought. Now going down, looking for all of it. Ooh, you know, Chase Webb had his man beat, but Charlie threw it a little too much, and that will bring out Owen Simpson. That was a good play call, Chad. Just a little too much air underneath.
It was a good call, and it tells you the confidence that this coaching staff has in Owen Simpson. They don't need a few more yards. Let's take the shot. Let's try to go get 6. And if we don't, we feel very good about our kicker, who's going to be lined up at the 36-yard line to attempt this field goal.
46-yard field goal attempt, but before, Hillcrest will call their final timeout. We keep things here. The Rebels 4 touchdowns in the first half. Gave up a touchdown on their last set. Under 2 minutes remaining, and the Patriots also got the 2-point conversion. And they've made a game of this again. So now Simpson try to add 3 more.
It looks like that wind, it is certainly at Simpson's back, but it's blowing a little bit diagonally. So again, it's going to take a really strong kick here, fortunately. Vestavia's got a kicker with a really strong leg.
Right hash mark for Simpson. Blocked. Blocked. That ball's alive, and Hillcrest falls on. Ball is loose. Clock will end. And that will end the first half.
And you hate to see a block punt, but that is great recognition and response by this Vestavia field goal team, because again, if that ball goes for 6 for Hillcrest, talk about a momentum swing at the end of the half. Goodness gracious. So not the 3 points, but you avoid the disaster situation by recovering that kick.
Our score at the break, 28-17. Vestavia Hills out in front. We'll take a timeout from Tuscaloosa. You're watching our broadcast today on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
At Birmingham Fastener, every day begins with our core values: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're on the lookout for talented individuals to join our sales and manufacturing teams at one of the nation's leading manufacturers. With over 15 locations nationwide, we offer endless opportunities for growth and success alongside incredible teammates. Be a part of shaping the future of American manufacturing and help us build our nation's infrastructure.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment, enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. Use your tax money for something that will make a huge impact at no cost to you. For more information, go to choosera.org.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
At Birmingham Fastener, every day begins with our core values: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're on the lookout for talented individuals to join our sales and manufacturing teams at one of the nation's leading manufacturers. With over 15 locations nationwide, we offer endless opportunities for growth and success alongside incredible teammates. Be a part of shaping the future of American manufacturing and help us build our nation's infrastructure.
Welcome back at the half. Vestavia leads Hillcrest 28-17 in this Class 7A Region 3 matchup. And we're really pleased right now to be joined by Miss Leslie Coleman. She's the head varsity coach of the football cheer squad. Miss Coleman, thank you for being with us. This is just another day for you guys. I know we had a little loop, but for those that maybe don't know, we went to watch the cheerleaders and everything that goes in, but just tell us a little bit about your background and your squads and your coaches and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Okay, so I actually cheered throughout the Vestavia Sioux schools whenever I was a student here at the high school. And then I went on to cheer my freshman year at the University of Alabama. And then I also worked with a cheer company called Universal Cheerleaders Association. So I did camps all around the state of Alabama and taught cheerleading. And then I started my first 5 years at Spain Park, and I coached there for 4 years. And then I wound up at the end of COVID coming over to Vestavia, filling in Miss Kathy and Miss Witten's shoes, which are big shoes to fill. But it's so exciting to be back in my alma mater and trying to make a difference in our cheer program.
Well, the girls do such a great job, and you can just see the enjoyment that they have. But there's several different squads, several different teams, and just describe that. You've got the varsity, you've got the JV, but they're all involved.
Yes, so our varsity squad is made up of 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. We cheer for all of the varsity football games, as well as we also compete, and this is our competition squad as well. We're competing in the medium division for varsity, and we won state last year, so we're really excited to be trying to defend that state championship this year. And then our JV squad is made up of 9th and 10th graders, and they are reigning back-to-back national champions, and we're fighting for another state championship for JV as well.
Well, that's the thing. You talk about that UCA championship. I believe it's down in Florida, and you go and you're competing against teams from all over the country,
yes, sir.
right? And that's the thing is your competition squad goes down there, and that had to be a pretty awesome experience. And not only that, but you've done it back-to-back with the JV group.
Yes, it's amazing. I got chills right now just talking about it. I mean, we have come so far, and I'm just so proud of these girls. They put all their blood, sweat, and tears. Things that you see on the sidelines doesn't even compare to what we do at practice. We practice Monday through Friday till about 5 o'clock at night, and then we have Sunday practices when competition starts rolling in. Our competition season starts mid-October, actually. This year we go to the Space Center Regional up in Huntsville, Alabama on October 20th. That's our first competition this season.
And you talk about all those practices, but you pick your teams, I guess, in the spring, and as you're going, but then they're working during the summer. They're going off to camps. I mean, this is not just a, hey, show up on Friday night.
No,
they're working all year long.
This is a year-round sport for these girls. We have about 6 weeks off in between February at the end of nationals, not even 6 weeks, and then they're preparing for tryouts at the end of March. And then we go to cheer camp at the beginning of June, and then they have summer assignments so we got to get skills before we have our choreography at the end of the summer. And so we're constantly working on competition and football simultaneously at one single time.
Well, I'm showing my age, but I remember the day when if you could do a back handspring, that was pretty good. I've got a 6th grade daughter that's doing these sorts of things. Like these girls are athletes. Like the way that they tumble and jump and they're spotting and they're all the things that they do. It's really impressive. The athleticism.
Yes, and I was a multi-sport girl here at Vestavia. I also played soccer. I played for the club, Vestavia Club Soccer, too, as well. And it's just like, it's so different. I mean, if I can compare, I feel like there's nothing really to compare cheer to, because it's like a dead sprint for 2.5 minutes, and you're not only sprinting, but you're flipping your body over. You're using your lungs and your diaphragm to yell, and then lifting people also above your head at the same time. And I mean, not that anybody could run for 90 minutes in a soccer game, but it's just not a dead sprint all the time. Yeah. So it's something different just to prepare for than just running on a field kind of thing.
We'll continue to see you on Friday nights. You mentioned competition starts, I guess, in October, but what's on the horizon for the cheer squads, and what's coming up next?
So we have 2 competitions in October. We're going to be at the Huntsville Space Center Regional, and then we're going to be going to Mississippi for the Mid-South Regional, just to get out of the state and get to see some more people that we would actually compete against down at nationals. And then our state qualifier is going to be at the beginning of November, and we qualify for state, and then we'll have our state competition, and we're going to try to be defending state champs in December.
That's awesome.
And then we'll follow up with nationals in February.
State champions, national champions. That's who your Vestavia Hills cheer squad is. These are girls that have done a phenomenal job, and they're led by Ms. Leslie Coleman. We appreciate you being here with us and just all the work that you do for Vestavia Hills High School.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. At halftime, Vestavia leads Hillcrest 28-17. We'll be right back after this break.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. Use your tax money for something that will make a huge impact at no cost to you. For more information, go to choosera.org.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
At Birmingham Fastener, every day begins with our core values: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're on the lookout for talented individuals to join our sales and manufacturing teams at one of the nation's leading manufacturers. With over 15 locations nationwide, we offer endless opportunities for growth and success alongside incredible teammates. Be a part of shaping the future of American manufacturing and help us build our nation's infrastructure. At Birmingham Fastener, every day begins with our core values: integrity, grit, and accountability. We're on the lookout for talented individuals to join our sales and manufacturing teams at one of the nation's leading manufacturers. With over 15 locations nationwide, we offer endless opportunities for growth and success alongside incredible teammates. Be a part of shaping the future of American manufacturing and help us build our nation's infrastructure.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Renew and refresh. JH Outback focuses on strengthening family bonds with spouses, parents, and children to help in spiritual growth and life purpose. Join us for a fun-filled weekend together in an undistracted environment, enjoying the outdoors with great food, entertainment, and live music. JH Outback. Renew and refresh.
Ethan Melanevsky, John Pickett, Andrew Shang, Ishan Singh, Caroline Tyndall, Mingzhen Wang, Allison Z, Brian Zhang. That's the first 15. And then, even more impressive, 8 of the 23 honorees are student athletes at Vestavia Hills High School. That includes Jack Cobb, who plays basketball, Madeline Crawford, cross country, Kendall Field, cross country, Levi Grimm, boys soccer, Logan Hawley, track, Chase Kaiser, track, Parker Liu, tennis, and Nicholas Snow, swim and dive. Those are your 23 National Merit semifinalists from Vestavia Hills High School. This is the largest group of honorees from Vestavia High School since 2006, and that year the school had 24 National Merit semifinalists. But again, the largest number of any high school in the state from Vestavia Hills High School. And these National Merit semifinalists are among 16,000 nationwide who will have the opportunity to compete for about $26 million in scholarships. The students entered this year's competition by taking the PSAT back in 2023, and the nationwide pool of semifinalists represents less than 1% of high school seniors in the United States of America. You've got these 16,000 semifinalists. The National Merit finalists will be announced in the spring of 2025. And just to say how big a deal this is, if you're a semifinalist, the academic scholarships are about to pour in. If you end up being a National Merit finalist, you don't pay for a penny, and you make a lot of money to go to college. So just incredible work, incredible academic success by these 23 Vestavia Hills students, and we are incredibly proud of that group. About 6 minutes left here in the half, and we'll be right back after this break.
Lifeline's ministry is necessary because God has ultimately called the body of Christ to manifest the gospel to vulnerable children. We see it beginning in the Old Testament in the Pentateuch. God continues to renew that call over and over and over again to the people. Lifeline, in its role, comes alongside the church with that very narrow specialization to allow the church to live out the mission that the church has been given to proclaim the gospel through orphan care.
In every moment, greatness awaits. For the bold, the visionary, and those ready to take their shot. Here, we don't chase success, we define it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
We are back live from Roy Johnson Jr. Stadium at half. Vestavia Hills 28 and Hillcrest 17 in a must-win game in order to continue and have some sort of a path at the playoffs. Kurt Bloom along with Chad Pilcher. Chad, studying over the stats, what jumps off that page for you?
It's a pretty strong performance in the first half by Vestavia. 264 yards of total offense. That's more than Vestavia put up all last week against Vestavia. Charlie Taff has been really good. He's 8 of 10 through the air, 141 yards with 2 touchdown passes. That included a 40-yard touchdown pass on a check down to Noah Boylan. William Tonsmeyer's run the ball very well, 8 times for 48 yards. Taff has added another 39 yards on 6 carries. The leading tackler for Vestavia is Jacob Watson with 6. And for Hillcrest, they have 179 yards of total offense, 6 of 9 through the air. They've actually thrown it a little better than I thought they might. They've got 100 yards, and then they've carried the ball 21 times for 79 yards. Kimbrough is 8 of 9 through the air, including that touchdown pass. And the big, I guess, thing that really jumps out is that last touchdown that Hillcrest was able to put. We talked about coming into this game needing to minimize penalties for Vestavia. They've done a pretty good job of that. Only 3 penalties for 29 yards. Hillcrest 3 for 19, so very even there. And the big thing, if you go back to week 1, when Vestavia played down in Montgomery, they only converted 1 third down attempt, 1 out of 14 on the half. You look at the stats tonight, 6 of 6 on third down for Vestavia Hills. That, to me, has been the real difference, is you're converting those third downs, you're keeping the drives alive, and the reason is because you're having really good success on first and second down, and that allows you to convert later on the third down plays.
Speaking of keeping things alive, Bryson Kimbrough might have kept this Hillcrest team alive for the rest of the season with that last drive under 2 minutes left to go. They get the touchdown and a 2-pointer, and Vestavia Hills with good field position, tried the long field goal, unable to capitalize. That's about an 8 to 11 point swing. It really felt all the momentum was on the Rebels side up until that last drive. Chad, we go back to keys to the game. What do we talk about for the Rebs? Maybe underline this and highlight it. Finish the game. You played a pretty good half. Not good enough, but you played pretty good. But now you got to come out here. Vestavia Hills will get the ball first and looking to score, putting some points back on the scoreboard.
That's a great point, and we've talked about this game being so important. And you may ask, well, why? It's only week 4 of the season. How is it so important? Well, first off, Vestavia starts out 0-3. They're 0-1 in the region. And in coming into this season, you never know what's going to happen. Will there be some upsets? Will there be a team get better as the season goes along? But if you look at this Region 3, it was anticipated that Thompson is anticipated to be at the top. Then you have Hoover and Hewitt and Vestavia and Hillcrest. Those are the 5 teams that you felt like had a chance if everybody played as well as maybe they played in the past or as you expected, they would get in the playoffs. Well, Hillcrest lost last week to Hoover, so Hoover has a leg up. Hewitt obviously beat Vestavia last week. They've got a leg up. So you have Hillcrest and Vestavia coming into this ballgame at 0-1. If you fall to 0-2 and you beat the other team that's likely to be at that along that 4 spot competing with you, there's really it's very hard to recover from that, especially if they are able to win out, then they get that playoff spot. And that's why this game is so big. And so far, so good for Vestavia. Again, giving up those 8 points late and then having a chance to potentially put 3 points on the board, that is blocked. But to me, maybe the biggest play in the ballgame was after that block punt. The Vestavia field goal team responding, reacting, and then going and preventing Hillcrest from taking that one back to the house. Because it looked like for a second as that ball was bouncing, you had 3 or 4 Hillcrest defenders going to pick up that football, but Vestavia able to avoid that situation, absolutely huge. So you keep the game at an 11-point lead for Vestavia. And as you mentioned, because Vestavia won the toss and deferred, now they will get the ball to start the second half. The only downside is it's still sunny here, but the rain is now starting to come down, and it's coming down pretty hard here in Tuscaloosa.
I checked the radar during the entire interview, and during the entire half, we were just on the edge of the rain. But whatever we see right now, it's still sunny with the rain. This is moving north and east, actually more towards where we began our journey in the Birmingham area than it is settling here. And, so far so good. A great call by both athletic directors to get us started early, and then just a village of people getting this thing. And we kicked it about, Chad, 4:15 instead of 4 o'clock. They put an extra 15 minutes on there, but this village here, everyone is here and have provided. I was watching again the interview at halftime, and you see the radar is on the actual video board here. But again, that's all moving north and east. And checking again if it's accurate, should and hopefully get out of the Birmingham area by the time we're done here, and more importantly, we're done with a win, and you pick up the tab afterwards.
And
so
you need
all of
to
that
get
together.
this game in, because again, one of the talks was, could you play this game tomorrow? Obviously, official availability is something they had to sense, but there was an opportunity to play it in the early afternoon. But the ACT test is being given tomorrow, and you've got a number of players on both of these teams. Cheer squads that we talked about. A number of people are taking the ACT tomorrow, so trying to play tomorrow would have been a logistical nightmare and maybe an impossibility because of so many kids who would be taking that test. So this was the decision to go early. Again, it all caught us all off guard, and just, again, cannot say enough about John Versiglio and the work that he's done to get this thing on the air, to get us bringing this broadcast to you. So when normally you'd be showing up at the stadium to watch that 7 o'clock kickoff, we'll be wrapping things up and headed home, hopefully with a victory. But 24 minutes of wait, and you want to come out to start this half and set the tempo, take the momentum. So for Vestavia offensively, put together a drive just like you've done the last several drives of the first half.
One of the keys in this half, besides all the statistics, is really the health of Vestavia Hills. We saw Noah Boylan, who's already scored a touchdown, but after that shoulder injury, he has not returned. Now, we can see him in front of us on the sideline. Why is he so important? Because Whit Williamson and Carson Purdy are out, and that leaves the sophomore Boylan giving Tonsmeyer, you mentioned this earlier, when Tonsmeyer was able to come in and out, just giving him as much of a rest as possible. This is a guy who missed the first 2 games of the regular season.
And it's very important. I think what you're going to see is probably Taft's going to pick up some of that slack as well. They'll let the quarterback run the football a little bit more. But just this half really is going to determine the rest of the season. Because, again, Vestavia's 0-3. The first 2 you understood. Last week you gave yourself a chance against a really good football team. You just didn't finish that ball game, and you wonder about where is the psyche of this football team. Now you go into the half. Last week you were leading by 7 at the half. This week you're leading by 11. You got a little more cushion. But can you throw that knockout punch? You thought they may have a chance in the first half. Didn't quite happen. You'll hopefully get another chance here. And can you finish this game?
By the way, Hewitt is playing Hoover tonight. What a battle that will be. And then we haven't even begun to talk about next week, as the Thompson Warriors will come to Thompson-Reynolds Stadium. But a big set of downs right here for the Rebels. An 11-point lead, lost some momentum the last couple of minutes of that second quarter. Very animated Robert Evans Near side for us, that's Carson Mann. Mann will take it at the 3. Heads upfield, he's tackled at the 12.
And what a tackle by Jordan Steele. Just fought through the blocker to make that tackle. And it looked like that was set up pretty well, but Steele with just an outstanding individual effort to really pin Vestavia back in not great field position to start the second half.
So Taft had a marvelous first half. Check down Charlie, 8 for 10, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns.
One other thing to remember here, the lights have come on here in the stadium, but the sun is setting right behind the home stands, and it is right in our eyes. That's something to keep in mind, not used to have to worry about in a high school football game.
Taft swallowed up at the 11. Marvin Johnson, the outside linebacker. By the way, I'll rely on you. Have we seen Zay Hall, number 1, their best defender? And
he is out.
I don't think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're talking it may be season ending. They
Wow.
had made a decision late this week. We didn't get an official word, but it sounds like it may be a surgery situation, and it's just a matter of can he get back at all before the season's over.
This is the second. Screen to Mann. Mann is going to get over the 20. Third down coming up.
He is just shy of the first down. Took a lick. Did Mann really good blocking on the edge by those Vestavia receivers to give Mann that opportunity. It's hard to see the sticks. So you're looking at about 2nd and 1, but Mann ran into the yard marker, so you can't find it.
Fake. Taft should have enough. But then again, I've been off on my spots all season long. But that one there, we'll move the chains. A big first down. You're pinned deep. A little breathing space. Let's see if Taft and the offense open this thing up. Tonsmeyer's going to get swallowed up, and it's a fake to Tonsmeyer. It's Taft by himself over the 40. Oh, what a ball fake that was.
That was an awesome play by Kendall Moorhead. He flew into the backfield, just lasered in on Tonsmeyer, made a big hit, but somehow Taft was able to pull that ball out and keep it. What a great play by Charlie Taft, and another big first down for the Rebels.
Full backfield now for Taft. That's Mann. Whistle. It looked like it was going to be an end around to Carson Mann.
So they're going to say offsides against Vestavia. Again, that sounds like an alignment issue. They're not saying false start. They're saying offsides. The other part is Vestavia picked up the first down. The clock stopped. It never started back. And with the weather the way it is, and Vestavia with the lead, you want that clock to run as much as it can. But it never wound again after that first down.
So the nose of the football at the 35. 1st and 15 for the Rebels. That's Tonsmeyer. Still going. Got up to the 42-yard line. Gained about 12.
And that's another play. Looked like it could have been a tackle for a loss in the backfield. Instead, Tonsmeyer just keeps moving, scooting forward, and picks up a nice gain on first down.
Manageable 2nd and 8. Taft to the air, roll out, caught, dropped. Again, a good play call. Eli Rooks, the intended receiver, had it. Little off balance. That would have been a first down.
And Rooks in there, you talked about the running backs have been injured and they're not in. So Rooks comes to the ballgame. That time he wanted to catch it over his shoulder. Maybe he should have turned his hands back and looked at the ball. Instead, falls incomplete.
3rd down and 8.
Here for Taft. You want to take a shot, but do not be reckless with the football.
Through the hands of Tonsmeyer. And the Rebels will punt.
And that's the area in the passing game where Vestavia has a real opportunity to make some yards. We saw a big gain down in the red zone a little bit earlier. It's those crossing routes, and they've used Tonsmeyer a couple of times, but that time just not able to get it in the right spot for a completion.
Owen Simpson will try to flip the field. Fair catch called for.
So if you're Hillcrest, that's about as good as you could hope for to start the game. Only a minute and 50 seconds ran off that clock on that drive. Vestavia moves it a little bit, but not much. And then they punt it away, and you get pretty decent field position to start just outside the 27-yard line. And you get the sense that offensively for Vestavia, it's just about executing. If you can put plays together and execute, and you hear Coach Josh Franklin on the sideline talking to his offense, if you just execute, you're going to be able to move the ball up and down the field. They did not do that on that drive.
This is a 1st and 10 at the 28.
Had a late tug there on the sideline. The Hillcrest sideline wanted a flag to come out. It did not.
Gain 4. 2nd and 6, ball on the 32 of the Patriots.
And that's a big stop there. Just a host of Rebels in on the tackle. It's going to be a 3rd and 2. It's really been a mixed bag for Hillcrest on 3rd downs. They're only 1 of 6.
Kimbrough calls his own number. I think he's got that. Whoa, short of the 1st down. Well, let's see what you do now. You're Jamie Mitchell. Again, I should leave the spots to the officials. Now, we have to remind everybody that we're in the stands. Chad and I are actually literally in the stands.
Coach Mitchell's asking for a measurement. The referee will not. He seems to have indicated it's a half yard without from the complete other side of the field. And again, Coach Mitchell, he's down. He's taking a gamble right here. This is a big play.
Will it go to Richie? Yes, Richie's got the 1st down and more. Leighton Downey got him, but after the 1st down by Christian Richie.
And that's the kind of play. It's a short yardage situation. You worry about if he gets through that initial push, does he break a long one? So nice job of the Rebels of keeping it short. That's Richie's 3rd carry for 26 yards.
Nothing here.
And we repeat it over and over, but 3rd down completion percentage is directly tied to what happens on 1st and 2nd down. And that's a great start to this series of downs for the Rebel defense.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Linebackers able to string him out. 3rd down.
Josh Arundel on the tackle. Cross Tonsmeyer in there as well.
Third and 8. Cheerleaders did make it, by the way. Unfortunately, the band, because of the inclement weather, couldn't get the buses. 3rd and 8 for Kimbrough. Pass and incomplete. Larry McSwain had coverage. You got to punt now, Chad, don't you, on 4th down and long?
I think you have to. Trent Curley, the receiver, was actually going downfield trying to block McSwain on that
yeah.
play, and the ball hit him in the back.
You know, if this was basketball, that would have been an offensive foul going the other way.
Yeah, so nice stop there for this Vestavia defense. You're right, punt formation. Vestavia actually staying in punt safe. The defense staying on the field, anticipating some type of fake, and that is a fake.
Up in the air, that's a floater, and intercepted. Oh, what an athletic play. As we mentioned earlier, McSwain.
Great job by this coaching staff. Coach Robert Evans, Chad Merrill did an awesome job of keeping the defense on the field in punt safe. They do fake it. Great recognition by the Vestavia defense. The only thing on that play, you love an interception usually. What Coach Evans is saying, if you knock that ball down, we get the ball at midfield.
Right.
You made a great play. It's hard to think about it in the heat of the play at the moment because you're just trained to go get the football. But instead of, if that ball falls incomplete on 4th down, Vestavia has the ball at midfield. Instead, they're back on the 28-yard line, but we'll take it.
Yeah. Excellent point. Taft and the Rebs at the 27. Fake to Tonsmeyer. Taft trying to get to the outside. Gets to the 35. Should be a gain of 7 or 8.
And so
It's
now
a healthy first down rush.
It's a nice start for Vestavia. You have to decide how aggressive and what kind of tempo do you want to use. They've been using a pretty fast tempo throughout this game. Not as fast as we've seen at times, but now you're going to slow it down a little bit more. Make sure you get the play calls. That time it was out of bounds, so the clock is stopped with 7 minutes and 1 second left in this third quarter.
Senior Webb is near side. Nice deflection right there over the middle where there has been some room. You had talked about that, and then Miles Madden said, not on my watch.
Yeah, this coaching staff clearly recognizes the available space. But that was a good play by Madden of recognizing what's taking place and knocking that ball down. They're down to 3.
Fake. Straight ahead, first down. Good blocking there. You saw Pearson Tucker throw a nice block, first down rush.
155 yards rushing for Vestavia on 28 carries.
Still on their side of the ball, Vestavia Hills. Tonsmeyer is going to be strung out. They got him for a loss.
As Vestavia starts to run the ball, Hillcrest has clearly made an adjustment. They're walking, moving the linebackers up. They're walking a safety down into the box, daring Vestavia to run, which they are. They're going to go spread here, empty backfield. But later on, if you could go stretch play, play action, you're going to have a chance to take a shot down the field.
Certainly appears to be a pass. Caught and then hit immediately was Webb. DJ Jones with the hit.
Smart call there because, again, as everything walks down, you want to give something to loosen the defense a little bit. They go empty. We're at the Heat timeout with 5 minutes, 54 seconds. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
Back from the Heat timeout on the Rebel Nation Sports Network. Kurt Bloom, Chad Pilcher, and our crew. Score has not moved since we went into the half. We've chopped off about half of this third quarter. 5:54 remaining. 3rd and 9. Ball at the Rebels 40. Been able to move the ball on the ground.
And the rain has just started back pretty hard once again.
Guy who makes plays in this situation is 22 Littleton. Taft's got to roll out. He's got Tonsmeyer, goes above Tonsmeyer, finds his man Webb, far side. First down, and then a late hit.
That is a beautiful throw by Charlie Taft. That time he rolls to his left. When you throw a ball as a right-handed quarterback throwing to your left, you have to pull yourself all the way around to get that ball down the field. That's a great job of getting his shoulders turned, unloading a beautiful pass to Chase Webb, who was wide open. That ball was thrown in between the defenders, and then a late hit out of bounds is going to add 15 more yards on to the end of that play.
I understand Charlie's a great baseball player, and I'm thinking he's a middle infielder. And, you know, you've got that kind of athleticism right there, the jump, throw it in the air pass, like Derek Jeter made famous. That was not an easy play. Look at a guy who's in 10th grade, no less. Rebels on the move. Taft calls his own number. Off the right side of the offense. Good yardage.
Really nice adjustment by this Vestavia offensive staff. After Hillcrest starts walking down, putting extra defenders in the box, they've now gone, they're going to fix that with formation. You're going to spread them out, require them to guard receivers, and that takes some pressure off of your offensive line. Less bodies to block there in the middle, and a nice gain on first down for Taft.
Gain 6. Ball is on the 17. Rebels thinking touchdown. They don't want a field goal. They got one of their big linemen in motion. Chad, was that a penalty or Pearson Tucker was moving?
I think they were lined up incorrectly. I think at the last minute they realized they wanted to go with an overload to the left side. They lined up improperly originally and wanted to kind of shift back. And so as they were doing that, took a little too long, so Vestavia's forced to call a timeout.
Okay. Timeout instead of losing yards. Third quarter. We are getting rain for the first time. Just on the edge of the rain.
And that's why every drive becomes more important. This weather's only going to get worse as the next quarter and a half goes along. So you want to take advantage of getting points when you have a chance to do so. And so you've gotten into the red zone. The more rain that comes, the harder it's going to be to throw the football. But you got to be really smart when you're carrying the ball as well. Protect it. Cover it with both arms as you go to contact, because again, that ball is going to get slick. Also a really big challenge for the ball boys to get in, keep those balls dry, get them in and out.
Second down and 4 for the first down. Ball on the 17. Tonsmeyer still alive, and then out of bounds, far side about the 8-yard line.
Just outstanding speed by William Tonsmeyer getting to the outside, and that's what Vestavia missed those first 2 weeks. Having him back just completely changes this offense, having the home run threat, having this guy that can outrun defenders to the edge changes the game.
So the nose of the football on the 10. Touchdown would get you home, and Taft is right near the goal line. Needed 10. He probably got 9+. Yep. About a 1 yard left to go for Taft and the Rebs. An important drive with the weather turning. An 11-point lead. Taft fakes the handoff and then just scampers in for a touchdown. Big afternoon for Charlie Taft.
Great job of finishing that drive by Taft. What you love is the way Vestavia was able to mix it up. They ran, they passed, did a good job of executing regardless of what the play was called, and a good job of just adjusting. Again, adjusting to what the defense is doing in the middle of that drive. A really good job all around by this Rebel offense.
And the point after is good again. So the Rebels here in the third quarter, under 4 minutes remaining, increase their lead, 35-17.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
That is Jacob Watson's 7th tackle on the night.
Kimbrough.
And you can see Hillcrest not wanting to make a mistake. They've gone a lot more conservative in their play calling on this drive, and really in the second half. It's tough with this rain coming down, but you get the sense they're going to have to take a shot if they want anything to happen offensively, because this Vestavia defense is dialed in.
3rd down and 5. Pair of running backs for Kimbrough. Kimbrough, screen, caught. Move back inside. Down at the 26.
And you see the athleticism by Caden Smith, but that's just a tough play to try to get it done on a 3rd down. You go swing pass, pick up 2 yards, and now you're at 4th and 3, and they're going to have to send the punting unit back on the field.
Big hold by the Rebs. So, Chad, this is what didn't happen ending the 2nd quarter. Hillcrest scored 6, added the 2-pointer. Vestavia unable to counter as a long field goal attempt was blocked. But now, the Rebels score and a 3-and-out. And the Rebels are going to get good field position. That's going to be at the 45-yard line for Taft and the Rebels. Under 2 minutes remaining here in quarter number 3.
Vestavia didn't even put anyone back that time to receive that punt. It's not worth the risk of potentially fumbling it. You just let it go, and now great field position. I would imagine you're going to see the ball stay on the ground for the Rebels unless they are absolutely required to throw the football.
Should be a healthy dose of number 11. Or you can hand it off to Boylan, who scored a touchdown in the first half.
Well, good to see Boylan back in. He had a run earlier where he landed on his shoulder. Clearly just took a shot there, but he's back in the ball game and looks to be okay.
Boylan stays in. Again, Tonsmeyer getting a breath of air. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Boylan at running back. Taft will use Boylan as a blocker. Not a lot on that. Good pursuit by the Patriots.
And it's not a great gain that time for the Rebels, but more importantly, it's not a loss and it's not a fumble. And that's what you're focused on. If we can bust a run, if we can put a drive together, that's great, but we're going to try to do it on the ground. And as we come up on about 6:17, can you imagine if we were just arriving at the game for a 7 o'clock kickoff?
No.
With this weather?
No, we could not have set up. Taft. Taft in the air, wide open. And Charlie dives towards the pylon. Touchdown, Taft!
We've seen the development of Charlie Taft over these first 4 weeks of the season. Started out against incredible competition, fighting through, learning the position. Had 26 carries last week. He has stepped it up big time tonight. That is a beautiful touchdown run by Charlie Taft.
Simpson. What an afternoon for Taft. 42-17. Patriots trailing the Rebs. And again,
You have to pay taxes. Ugh. It's just part of life. In the great state of Alabama, we have an awesome thing in our tax code called the Alabama Accountability Act, which allows you to redirect up to 100% of your state taxes to Scholarship for Kids, a scholarship granting organization that benefits partner schools like Restoration Academy. It's a no-brainer. Use your tax money for something that will make a huge impact at no cost to you. For more information, go to choosera.org.
with that. We come back with the Rebels out in front, 42-17. 15 seconds left to go into the third quarter. And whether it's been in the air or on the ground, it's been a monster afternoon for the sophomore Charlie Taff. At this rate, Taff will be asking Evans, and Robert Evans will say, hey, can we get a couple more 4 o'clock games?
Hey, and we talked about how many kids are just involved in this game. Down on the sideline, we don't have our sideline cam, but we got some students doing push-ups in ponchos in the rain.
Kimbrough as the Hillcrest Patriots just try to play it safe, milk out that third quarter clock. Chad, if the weather holds up, we need 12 more minutes. 12 more minutes as the Rebels have a pretty big lead, and with the weather, give us a chance. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in Tuscaloosa in just a moment.
Oh my gosh.
They're calling it? All right, hey, let's come back for a break. They're calling it.
The kid. It's the break. It's the end of the third quarter.
Let's go to the end of the quarter. They ain't calling it. Yeah, it's end of the quarter. Yeah, it's end of the quarter.
Give me a minute or so to.
Welcome back to a rainy Tuscaloosa, start of the fourth quarter.
Well, Mother Nature allowed us to get set up. We had a beautiful first half. Midway through the third, wreaking havoc.
And the rain is sideways. I mean, this is real.
So is my broadcasting, Chad, but that we'll pick that up at another day, you know what I'm saying? Kimbrough through the rain. Keeps it on the ground, Richie.
And I will tell you, as this rain's come down, this is the most animated I've seen this Vestavia sideline all season long. You talk about it, you don't get to do this very often. Play in this kind of weather, it's pretty incredible, and these kids are enjoying it and making the most of this moment.
This is their snow. Up where I come from, this is 7-8 inches of flaky snow coming down. Here, rain. Kimbrough by himself. And the Rebels are there. Defensively, they gobble them up. There are about 5 guys there.
It's a great stop by Vestavia. You can see the offense. And again, the sideline. We haven't seen a lot of that. Obviously, you come in 0-3. It's tough sometimes on the sideline, but this is, A, we're winning, and B, this is fun. We're up 42-17. We're playing in the rain. These guys are having a lot of fun, and that's what you love to see. It would be so easy to go 0-3 and you sulk and you feel sorry for yourself. No, they showed up and they played against what's a very good Hillcrest team tonight, and they are enjoying the fruits of their labor here in this fourth quarter.
Punt gets off. caught, fumbled. I don't know why Charlie got it, but he did.
Yeah, I doubt you'll see another return man back if Hillcrest punts again.
Charlie's a gamer. That's the word we use in sports. He's a gamer. Terrible conditions. His team is up 42-17. And as a punt, he's trying to return that thing. That's Tonsmeyer near side. Strung out of bounds. You still have 10 minutes left to go, Chad. We could soon start looking at next week's battle against Thompson.
Breaking news, Thompson's good.
This just in.
They lost their first game of the season versus Grayson, Georgia. To go 0-1, it's one of the better high school programs in the state of Georgia. They came back the following week and played against a team out of Tennessee, Lipscomb Academy, won that game 27-21. They also started region play last week. They beat Tuscaloosa County 47-7. And then tonight they play Oak Mountain. Oak Mountain's coming off a loss the week before to Prattville. So tough task for Oak Mountain tonight in what, again, not sure what the weather's going to be in Birmingham, but after that game, then Vestavia will play. Ball's out.
That ball is out, picked up, and it looks like the Patriots will recover and then go inside the 20.
And look, everything's going in Vestavia's favor, but there's still 9 minutes and 34 seconds left in this ball game, and that's why you have to be careful and protect the ball. The one thing you can't afford is a fumble, and the ball comes out and you give it right back to Hillcrest in incredible field position.
First and 10 at the 17. Very short field for Hillcrest. First man through.
Vestavia says the ball's out again.
Rebels say that ball is loose.
Grayson Bruno is holding the football.
Of course he is. So these conditions cause back-to-back fumbles. Pouring rain now in Tuscaloosa. Under 10 minutes. Taff still running, near side, over the 40, and then pushed viciously out of bounds in front of the Vestavia Hills bench.
Forget the yardage. That is a confident run by a confident quarterback. Did you see the way he came out? He saw the open space, and you could just see his eyes get big. He was waiting for the opportunity to accelerate. I'd like for him to go out of bounds a little bit earlier and not take that hit, but that's a very confident run by Charlie Taft.
Camarcus Silvers pushed Taft out of bounds. Tonsmeyer. William gets to midfield.
Hillcrest getting a little chippy out there. They had a personal foul late in the ball game when Hoover was up big last week, and playing a little aggressive after the whistle there. We have a Hillcrest defender down. I want to take a minute just to thank everybody who's involved with this broadcast. Again, the athletic directors, Meyer Miles, Hillcrest administration, obviously they made the right call moving this game up. It is coming down like crazy, and we would not even be started yet. It's if they would have stayed with the regular time, they clearly made the right call to stay here. John Versiglio has done just yeoman's work to get us on the air, to keep us on the air. We've got a couple of tents set up. We're getting rained on. We've got umbrellas under the tent. Stephen Gill is here running the stats. He's underneath a poncho or two, but we've got the stats going. But we've had Matt Wyatt running our camera, doing an awesome job. Jackson Mikos is kind of helping us organize the broadcast, producing. Ariana Salas running the other camera, doing an awesome job. Abby Gillette is the teacher who teaches the broadcast students at Vestavia Hills High School. We've got Clay Hamlin here holding down the tent. Like, we have got all hands on deck, everybody helping out with this broadcast to bring it to you, to put it on the air. It's just been an awesome job tonight.
And the deck is very slippery, I might add.
Absolutely. Also, Vestavia, every week they've got ball boys that work the game, and the ball boys are most important here tonight. Will Caudill, Cooper Dempsey, William Mummert. They're out there in the pouring rain running these balls on and off the field for this Vestavia offense, trying to keep it dry, doing an awesome job. So thanks to those young men as well.
You know, when you're a ball boy, one day your aspiration obviously is to be the starting quarterback, starting running back. And I bet you more than 50% of this team, the Vestavia Hills team, they were ball boys somewhere along the line. Carrying bags of footballs. Tonsmeyer, far side. Over the right side.
To give folks some context, it's hard to compare scores one week to another. You never know what happened in a game and what situation happened. But think about Hoover last week. Came out, played really well. They beat Hillcrest 35-6. Again, Hillcrest had some opportunities inside the 10-yard line, but we're not able to cash in those touchdowns. Here tonight, the safety is really the difference, or otherwise you're looking at about 42-14. But so Hillcrest loses last week to Hoover, 35-6. Right now, with 7 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in this ball game, Vestavia is leading 42-17.
Taff, fumble. Back to Vestavia Hills, I believe.
What an effort.
Yep. Wow.
That ball was recovered by Landon Page, the offensive lineman. So Taft takes a hit, the ball comes out. Landon Page, not only did he recover the ball, but he was able to pick up a couple of yards. And Coach Evans is not going to risk a punt, not going to risk a bad snap or something happening on the exchange. They're just going to keep the offense on the field and go for it here on 4th down.
Shift in the Vestavia offense, which has caused some penalties.
And that's the difference in the high school game versus college and the pro game. If you jump off sides in high school, it's a 5-yard penalty. There's no getting back and getting onside before the ball is kicked.
Chad, that should be enough for a first down. It was 4th and 4.
That is a first down. You saw Will Caudill take the fresh football out there. I don't think it matters at this point. Whatever ball they're taking is probably soaking wet. But great job by Will.
Rebels looking for their first win and a bounce back after the heartbreaker last week to Hewitt. William Tonsmeyer shakes a couple of tackles and gets down to about the 38.
You're going to have a face mask on that play. I think you may also, the face mask will be against Hillcrest. You may also have a holding against Vestavia.
We got a minute to kind of sort this out. I'm almost done with my book of Hewitt versus Vestavia last week. I personally taped and slowed down the long pass to Chris Davis, which appeared to be a fumble and recovering that would have iced the game. Chad pointed out earlier he took his helmet off. He was injured. He should have either been out of the game or a timeout. But I will say we looked as hard as we could at that very final touchdown, and it looked like the receiver had his hands underneath the ball. And I think the most important question I asked Robert Evans during the week was, what did you tell the team immediately after the game? And he had an incredible answer. He said, Chad, I didn't talk about the game. I said, I love you guys. Your effort was incredible. We're doing this together. We are a team.
And that's the type of thing that resonates with young men, and that's carried over to tonight.
That's Boylan, who's had a nice day. There's a Boylan on the line, a Boylan running back, and there's one Boylan brother in the stands, an 8th grader. And then a whole lot of Boylans have made the trip from in and around the area. Man, it's coming down now. Yeah, in my other sport that I do outside, we have a tarp. No tarp here. We go until it's lightning. Boylan falls forward. He got hit, got stuck, and still falls forward.
And kudos to this officiating crew. They did not take the heat timeout at the 6-minute mark. They wisely realized we could forego the old heat timeout in the pouring rain, and no heat. It is chilly.
Well, I tell you what, Chad, there would have been a lot of heat on those umpires. I would have come out of the stands with my umbrella if they had taken the heat timeout. 3rd down and 2. Tonsmeyer, first down at the 27.
And just a great job by this offensive line. They've done a nice job all season long, but they are pushing this Hillcrest line. They have their hands on their hips. They're tired. This Vestavia offensive line is geared up, ready to go. Copeland Stiles, J.D. Livingston, Caleb Boylan, Landon Page, Pearson Tucker. Those young men are doing an outstanding job.
Although it won't count, Pearson Tucker, 2 yards rushing, right? If I'm him, I'm lobbying for those 2 yards. He picked up a fumble and got 2 further yards. Boylan to the 25. Under 4, closer to 3. 1 week away from Thompson and the Rebels. A week after that, Chad, is the off week.
And I can't imagine a more difficult 5-week stretch for a high school football team. So Vestavia, some teams play straight through, and they take that last week off. This was perfect for this schedule, is getting that break after those first 5 games.
Boylan on the handoff, right side. Good yardage inside the 20, the 10, the 15, looking for a second touchdown. Boylan in. And now the boys from the Hills are celebrating with some slides in the end zone.
Those young men are having fun. What a night for Noah Boylan. Had the touchdown catch to start the scoring, and then a touchdown run with about 2 minutes and 57 seconds left in this ball game.
Simpson in front of mom and dad. The PAT. (49-17).
And if you say you want to do push-ups when you score points, you better be ready when the score gets big. And on the sideline, the push-ups are about to start. Those young men are shirtless in jean shorts.
You know, I saw jorts, we call them. But, Chad, I'll tell you what, I looked at all those guys earlier, and I did not look like that. I did not look like that in high school. 5'6" and about wringing wet 135. I didn't grow to 6 foot 180 until I got to college. But those dudes are in shape. And if I'm not mistaken,
the rain has stopped.
The rain has stopped. Thank you. On cue. Thank you. And so we call them in baseball the baseball gods. The football gods have stopped the rain with 3 minutes left to go. And the Rebels looking for their first win of the season.
And that time Owen Simpson went with the line drive, and you see that football just shoot off of that wet turf.
Chad, I've talked about Thompson. Give me a little preview. Give me a little what to expect, what needs to be done for the Rebels.
So for Thompson, it's the same thing once again. It's incredibly talented. It's deep It's athletes all over the place. It's well coached by head coach Mark Freeman, and he just does such a great job of getting his guys prepared. And Trent Seaborn, now a sophomore. He was starting quarterback as an 8th grader. When they won a state championship last year, they lost to Central Phoenix City in the championship game, and then this year he's back as just a sophomore as a quarterback for Thompson. But it's not just him. There's athletes all over the field. You know what you're walking into. That's why this game was so important. Next week will be a big challenge for Vestavia, very similar to the first 2 weeks. This is a good Hillcrest team, though, and Vestavia came out and handled their business after playing really, really tough against Hewitt. I'm very interested to see what happens in that Hewitt-Hoover game tonight.
Agreed.
How does that one play out?
Yep.
I think it'll tell you a lot, because for Vestavia, despite the record, you felt like this was a really good team who has a chance to be really good. The last 2 weeks, they've proven to you that they have a chance to be really good. Next week, you'll find out, can you really play when you go against that elite talent? And that's what you had the first 2 weeks against Auburn and against Carver out of Montgomery. You had elite skills, elite talent, and you'll see that again next week for Thompson.
Clock running with 2:25 remaining in the game. Rebels with a season best 49 points. Pitch to Richie. Richie's got some room. And then taken down in the open field.
Vestavia's put some backups in the game. Want to make sure those starters, again, it's already an injured team. You don't want to have any more injuries here on this wet, slick turf. So a lot of subs in the ball game. And can't say enough, again, Hillcrest has played tough, but they're playing shorthanded as well. We talked about it, 4 or 5 starters out for their defense. Offensively, they're banged up as well. And so just trying to get by in a couple of tough weeks in a row for Hillcrest as they've bumped up to 7A from 6A last year.
That was Botnick, by the way, on the tackle. Up to the 32. First down for Hillcrest with 92 seconds remaining. Rain picks up a little bit. Not nearly the level it was. And we appreciate everybody for being with us on our Rebel Nation Sports Network. Go to YouTube and then go to One Rebel Athletics. Interesting handoff pitch that was, and it will be a major loss of yardage.
Little discombobulation for the Hillcrest offense, and Logan Richter finishes that one off for the Rebels.
Not quite the last play of the game. Robert Evans had this look on his face around 3 o'clock. He just didn't need all the distractions with such an important game. I said, 4 o'clock, no one's going to care, and he said, you're right. Richie over the 30. And that probably is the last play of the game.
And to put a bow on the stats for the Rebels, Vestavia puts up 487 yards of total offense, according to our statistician, Stephen Gill, and holds Hillcrest to under 240 yards. Just a dominant performance in a must-win game for this Vestavia high school football team.
A must-win became a win. The arm and the legs of Charlie Taft, the sophomore. 11 for 16 in the air, 179 yards. And on the ground, 16 carries, 164 more yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for check down Charlie, who got things done tonight.
Big-time performance by Taft. 8 tackles for Jacob Watson to lead the way. And this is a huge win, and the Rebels are on the board. It's been a tough start to the season, but the Vestavia gets their first win of the football season, what is hopefully the first of many as this season moves along.
We couldn't begin to even thank. We tried with Versiglio and Myra and Abby and Steven and our camera crew and everybody. For Chad Pilcher, this is Kurt Bloom, CB, saying may today be the best day of your life, but tomorrow be even better right here on the Rebel Nation Sports Network.
This is Coach Robert Evans at Vestavia High School. I want to personally thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. We appreciate your support, and go Rebels.